Hi, this is James Roney Skaters with Free Magnetic Energy. After a long absence, I'm back. Due to some issues and other things that I will not disclose, I'm ready to continue on with where we last left off. However, there has been some major upgrades and improvements. And so we're going to get a little bit away, if not real far away for now, from the original design concepts that I had been working on. Because when I looked at an older technology that goes all the way back to the late 1890s or so with Nikola Tesla, I went, whoa, how come nobody's really doing much with this? Well, actually somebody did. His name was Joseph Newman. He came up with a motor called the Newman motors, what people basically called it. But his design concept was based upon Nikola Tesla's works. Most people just don't know that. So as soon as I really began to see and learn all about Mr. Newman's reconfiguration of the electric motor, which Nikola Tesla designed, I went, whoa, wait a minute. There are two major design flaws. And I'm thinking, no quicker than I recognized the two design flaws, I immediately had the answer. At least I'm pretty sure I have the answer. So, I don't know if Mr. Newman's motor really ever worked. This video is not to debate that, though there are some very interesting videos here on YouTube that show that this might very well work after all. But here nor there, this is not about to debate that. I also want to say that I'm not a physicist, I'm not a mathematician. I'm just an amateur scientist who like to think that he has a pretty good head on his shoulders. So with that said, this video assumes that you already know how the Newman motor works. If you don't, this video is not going to make any sense to you because I'm going to be using generalizations and get into some specifics that if you don't have a base working knowledge, some of the stuff you're not going to get right off the bat. So with that said, I'm going to pick up the pace here now and get into the two major design changes, and then after this I'm going to show a step-by-step video how I build my model, and thereby if you have any further issues or questions you can just go to video number 2, etc. However, if you built a Newman motor before, after this first video, you shouldn't need any of my other videos. You should be able to just jump right into this with these new design changes and just make it. Okay, here we go. Design change number 1. First, the Newman motor basically involves, and by the way, you're looking at just 2 coils of wire that are still on their spools from the store. I haven't done anything yet, so everything's still in its raw form. Okay, so we have 2 coils of wire, and these 2 coils of wire, as you know it, have a magnet that spin around inside that generates the electricity that goes to the battery. Then in turn, at the end of one revolution, as you know, we take electricity and bring it back to the 2 coils, and that in turn becomes energized, then in turn allows it to push this magnet. Okay? So every revolution we borrow from this. The Newman motor concept is that these 2 coils of wire put in more electricity than what these 2 coils of wire consume. I don't know if the Newman motor really ever worked, and that's not up for debate. But the first design problem here is that it basically violates the laws of thermodynamics, laws of physics, and so basically this shouldn't be possible. Thereby, this battery will be dead after a few hours. Now, that's where first design flaw I came into. So, bear with me now because I'm about ready to take you for a loop, and then I'll close the loop and this will all make sense. For now, let's just say these are 1200 windings and 1200 windings each. Let's take these 2 big guys and move them out of the picture for now. Now, let's use 2 smaller coils of wire. But wait a minute, we have not solved anything yet because the same problems with the 2 bigger coils of wire still exist with the smaller coils of wire. Thereby, whatever energy they send over here, more than likely they're not going to send more energy over here than what they consume, and thereby, in a few hours, the battery will be dead. So, let's still install these into the Newman motor, 200 windings each. And these windings are going to be wrapped very carefully and very special. We'll get into that later. So, okay, we still haven't solved anything. Now, let's bring these two big coils of wire back. And what we're going to do now is that we're going to build these two coils of wire over top of those, on top, not over top, on top of these two smaller coils of wire. However, these two coils of wire are always going to be sending electricity to the battery. We are never going to send electricity back to these two coils of wire. Thereby, these two coils of wire, all they do is just charge the battery. And thereby power these two smaller coils. But at the same time, these two smaller coils of wire are still generate electricity and sending it back to the battery. So the whole principle here is this. I believe that these two bigger coils will produce more electricity and more current than what these two little guys will ever need. If I'm right, then this is a major paradigm shift in the Newman motor / Nikola Tesla technology. Okay, now we're not home free yet because I said there's two design improvements. Okay, that's just one. The other one is the original design concept. The original design concept for the Newman motor was round. The housing, the body of the motor was always round. And then the motor, the magnet spun inside of it around and around and around and around. Okay, the problem was is that on the sides of the magnet, the coils of wire moved away from the magnet. But what if we did this? We build the housing square. So we have a square housing. By doing so, we now can make both the primary and the secondary coils of wire follow the exact edges of the magnet. Thereby, the coil will be within literally 1/4 of an inch. That's how close I'm pushing this. Within 1/4 of an inch, this magnet is going to be up near the copper winding wire, magnet wire. Now, the old Newman motor only utilized the end of the magnet. It didn't really utilize the sides. And so by us changing the shape of the housing, now we are going to be able to really get the output, the maximum potential out of this magnet. Now, I have two of these. So I'm going to be putting two of these end to end on an axle. Okay, this is an N52 neodymium magnet. It's 2 inches across in length, 1 inch across, and 1/2 inch in depth. This is literally the world's most powerful magnet, pound for pound. If there's anything more powerful out there, I don't know anything about it. So, in summary, this is what's going on. I truly believe that these two coils will produce more than enough power to run these two smaller coils. But even better, those two smaller coils, combined with those two bigger coils, all 4 coils of wire will be working in tandem to generate electricity to keep that battery charged, which in turn to operate these 2 little tiny coils of wire. I believe in my own head that this will work, along with the design improvement with a square housing, so we can get the coil of wire right up against the magnet. And for any of those of you who've played with a magnet, knows that within 1/2 inch of the magnet, right about here, there is a super sweet spot. It becomes super powerful. And my thinking is that if I get this coil of wire within a quarter of an inch where the coil of wire starts, it will really start to have maximum potential output. So combined with these two design changes, I basically believe, remember I believe, I don't really know this for a fact, but I believe this design change, if the Newman motor has any chance of working, and more so, if it ever really did work, and that's an if, because I really don't know, if it ever really did work, then this design change will just take the Newman motor to a whole new level. So you've already got enough to go on. If you've already built a Newman motor, you don't need to watch any more of my videos. You can just run with it and go do it. For those of you who are a little iffy about how all this works, I'm going to be making some videos how to put all this together, and also so you can see how I'm going to kind of miniaturize things and do all of this. Because I've designed some very interesting parts, and I'll also give you a parts list, specifications, and dimensions and stuff that I'm doing. I'll print them on the website or put them somewhere. Alrighty? Basically that's it. That is my upgrade design concept, and I'm sticking to it. This is James, Roney Stators, signing out for now, and hopefully I really, truly am on to something here.